everyone! So it's been ages since I made a video because I was pretty busy lately. But I wanted to make this video because there have been a huge amount of new books for me in April. And I just got really excited and I wanted to show them to you all. The first reason why I got so many books this month was because my 25th birthday was in April. And if we take a look at them, the first one I got was The Hobbit by the Folio Society. If you watched my videos, you might know that I already bought the Lord of the Rings in the New Year's sale of the Folio Society. So of course eventually I wanted to have this book to complete it because it's just as beautiful as those editions, and of course Lord of the Rings isn't really complete without The Hobbit. So I was really happy about this, and as you can see, it's gorgeous. The second book I got is a bit of an older Folio Society edition, and it's The Age of Scandal by T.H. White. And it's a sort of parody look at society in the 18th century, which I find highly interesting. And I already read Mistress Mesham's Repose by T.H. White, which I loved, so I think he's an author that I will enjoy reading. Here you can see the contents. So as you see, it's kind of an examination of the archetypes of people that existed in that time period. Really happy about this one. The next book I got is also from the Folio Society, and it's this Travels of a Victorian Photographer. And the reason that I really wanted this book is because I bought the Victorians in the New Year's sale of the Folio Society. And I feel like this is just a very nice addition to it because it is actual photographs of that time. And this is sort of the travels through England, and it's complemented with essays by famous authors about the places that you see in the picture. So I think this is a very nice piece of time history, and I was really excited to get it for my birthday. It's just really nice. Then, we're not done yet with my birthday. I also received this Taschen edition of William Blake's Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. And I think this book also exists in an English edition. And I bought the Songs of Innocence in the New Year's sale by William Blake, illustrated by William Blake. So I started to take more of an interest in him. So it's all his paintings that he made for that, for the Divine Comedy. And they're always explained, the symbolism on them next to it, and also what is happening in the divine story in that moment that the picture depicts. And I thought that was something really, really nice. And as you can see, the quality of the pictures is really nice, and it's just a very well-made book. The last book I got for my birthday is this, The Book of Kells by Thames and Hudson. And this is a book that has been on my wish list so long. I just love book illumination. I love book art, and this is one of the most amazing book illuminations that exists. And also I love the movie The Secret of Kells very much, where they actually recreated one of the pages. And I just thought it would be really nice to have an actual book about this book with lots of color illustrations. And it comes in this slipcase that is cloth bound and has this little element here as if the book is peeking through the book page. And then it is in a dust jacket like this. As you can see, it's a very, very tall book. So it's difficult to find a place for it, but it's so worth it. It's really, really beautiful. And it was written by the curator of the Book of Kells in the Trinity College. And So, you know, you've got the expert explaining things to you there. And it's just huge full color reproductions of the Book of Kells, of the pages, and then explanations of what we're seeing there. And that is just, in my opinion, amazing. I think it's a wonderful book. And I'm so, so happy that it was gifted to me by my boyfriend. So yeah, that was really, really nice. But that is not all of the books that I got in April, because to celebrate my birthday and everything, I went on a trip to London with my mom, who's just as much, probably a lot bigger book lover than I am. And I have been to London before. This was actually my 5th time of going, but I have never gone there under the aim of getting as many great books as I can. And anyway, every time I go to London and I leave, I feel like, oh, you know what, you should go again. There's just so much to discover. It's so nice there. I really like the city. And so this time we were staying in a hotel that was actually quite opposite of the Victorian and Albert Museum, which was really awesome. It's a wonderful museum. But they also had a bookshop there. And unexpectedly, they also carried some Folio Society editions there. And now you have to imagine that for me, so far, the Folio Society is something that I can only get my hands on online. And it's always coupled with lots of shipping expenses and a huge wait of several weeks. So seeing one book standing there just looking at me, and I could just go there, grab it, and take it to the cashier, that was like mind-blowing. So quite the experience. And one book that they had there from the Folio Society was this, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Now, I'm a huge Jane Austen fan. I really love her books. And when I saw this, I just needed to have it. And it was right there. I could just grab it and take it. And this book was illustrated by the Barbosa twins, who are just amazing illustrators, as you can see. So this is a really special edition that I can't wait to read again. It's just wonderful. Of course, on the downside now, I have to absolutely collect the rest of the series, and I'm not even through collecting everything else that I want to own by the Folio Society. So, you know, smart decisions all around, but I just couldn't resist. And another thing I bought at the Victorian and Albert Museum was this book, The Story of Beatrix Potter. And, you know, I didn't grow up with Peter Rabbit and Beatrix Potter's illustrations, but I have seen them and I always thought that they looked so precious. And I've been looking for a nice collection of her stories for a long time now. And so when I saw this book, I thought it would be really nice to learn more about her. And this book, I think, is really, really nice. It wasn't that expensive. And as you can see, it's illustrated with so many beautiful photographs of where she used to live. Really cute. So I was really happy to get this one. Then the next day that we arrived, we went to Hatchards. And Hatchards is something that I think everyone knows. But the other times that I went to London, I always paid a visit to Fortnum and Mason, because it's just such a beautiful shop and I love tea. And I never really took the initiative to go in the bookshop that is like right next to it and is amazing. Hatchards was so great. I loved it. It was so beautiful. You felt so cozy there. It was just great. And I bought 2 books there. The first one is this, Idylls of the King, or Idylls, I don't know, of King Arthur, by Tennyson, by the Arcturus publisher. And it's a collection of excerpts of Tennyson's masterpiece. And it's sorted into a sort of chronological order, so just it gives you sort of the story of King Arthur from beginning to end using Tennyson's verses, and it's illustrated by Gustave Doré. And Gustave Doré is just so wonderful of an artist. I love his pictures so much. They are just stunning. They have so much atmosphere. They're always epic in scale, and this is actually just an edition I did not expect at all to find or come across, but the moment I saw it, I was like, okay, I have to have this. It's so wonderful. As you can see, the chapters are always really nicely introduced and everything. So yeah, this was like my lucky find. And the second book I bought at Hatchards is this little cute book called The Language of Flowers, a Miscellany. And you know, I love folklorish things, and I love also the Victorian age, and I really love the meanings that have been assigned to flowers, because guess what, I also love flowers. And this is like a little encyclopedia of flowers and their meaning. So you see like the short meaning here, and then there's a whole bunch of explanations about the plant. And what I also like about this book in particular, from what I've seen so far, it also always mentions if the particular meaning of a flower was mentioned in a book or in a play before by some authors, like, you know, Shakespeare, etc. So it adds even more cultural impact to the flower, and I just think that is wonderful. And then our hotel was also not far from Harrods. And Harrods has 3 cupboards full of Folio Society books. That was my first time seeing a limited edition there. It was the Grimm's Fairy Tales illustrated by Kai Nielsen, which by the way is huge and absolutely gorgeous. So that was exciting. And as I said, these shelves full of Folio Society books, they were blowing my mind. And I also bought 2 books there. I would have bought more, but at some point, you know, money runs out. So the first one I bought there was Dracula. And I have read Dracula a long time ago, but I loved it when I read it. I really did. I thought it was so great. But I haven't really had a nice edition of it yet. So when I found this one, and it's actually out of print at the moment at the Folio Society, so that was extra motivation to buy it. And I'm trying to show it now, but of course it's not working out. It also has some really spooky illustrations. So, and in the short time that it's been on my shelf, it was the absolute eye catcher. The spine is just so elegant and beautiful. I was so stoked to find it there. It was amazing. And so in March, I don't think I've mentioned that before, but you know, in March I bought Wuthering Heights by the Folio Society because I thought Rowena Kaye's illustrations are just so great, and I really liked the book itself. And then when I was in London at Harrods, I had to buy this one as well, Jane Eyre, or Eyre, I don't know. So it's a set. And this is of course just also a wonderful edition, as you can see. Wonderful illustrations that capture the mood of the story. Even the full page one, well, both pages. That was just really great. And I could just buy it there. So I did. And then on my last day in London, it was a short trip, sadly. I went to a bookshop called Dawn Books. It's more specialized on travel literature, which is not my favorite genre, sadly. But it has a very nice, it's just a very nice shop, and they have this window, this round window that makes it sort of look like a gallery. It's just really nice. And so I bought a little book there, The Hunting of the Snark, illustrated by Chris Riddle. And I have to confess, I don't really know The Hunting of the Snark. I just know that it is by Lewis Carroll. And it is sort of nonsensical from what I gather. But I'm always down for Chris Riddle. I love his work. You know, I've read the Twig books when I was little, which had his illustrations all over. And I have the Neil Gaiman, The Sleeper and the Spindle, and Odd. So Chris Riddle has just always been on my radar as insanely talented. And as you can see, his pictures are just so much fun. And from what I gathered from the poem, or yeah, The Hunting of the Snark, I thought it would just fit really well. So it was like a no-brainer to get this. And it even has these silvery blue page tops, which just adds that little, you know, je ne sais quoi. And it just is fun. And then for other news in April, because I couldn't help myself, I bought this little edition of Beatrix Potter Stories. And I know this is in German now, which is not the original language. But I figured these stories are more suitable for tiny children, and by the point when I will have children, when they're little and want to read these stories, they probably will not be fluent in English yet. So I bought these in German, and I thought this was a really cute edition. It's in this gold and has a slip case and everything. And as a little touch, they added it that at the end of stories, they wrote like little letters by the characters about their adventure, addressed at the children who read it. It's just a really cute edition. And since I had the story of Beatrix Potter, you know, I needed also these stories by Beatrix Potter. And then last but not least is this little book that I'm so happy about. It's a treasury of British folklore, and it just came out in April actually. It's a little book written by the co-founder of the Folklore Thursday website, which, if you don't know it, is sort of like a blog where certain authors post articles about folklore from all over the world, basically, but also a lot of Britain. And I'm really happy. I read through it a little bit already. It is split into 3 parts. You can see them here. And it actually has a lot of information, you know, just about what people used to or still believe in Britain. And I just love it when someone gives you concrete info on what people used to believe, because a lot of times in the folklore sources I found, they argue very academically about it, which is interesting in its own right, but I feel like you can only argue about something if you actually know what these beliefs and superstitions actually were. So that was my entire huge list of new books in April, and I hope that you enjoyed my ramblings about them and maybe you saw something that you liked. I hope to get back to more videos soon. I don't know if I can actually promise that. I'm still very busy, but I'll try. And I have actually bought 2 more folios now that are on their way to me now. One is the Yellow Fairy book and one is Myths and Legends from Russia that I'm really excited about. So there will be more stuff to come in the future. So yeah, thank you for watching and bye-bye.